Hey guys, what's up? Red Sonja is one of the most iconic characters in pop culture. People draw her, people dress like her, people cosplay her, people read her comic books, they made comics, they made movies about Red Sonja, and they've got other characters that are very, very close to Red Sonja that are also very, very popular. Like Tarna, like Xena, Warrior Princess, Tarna from Heavy Metal Magazine. There's a lot of that kind of character in the pop cultural world. Red Sonja is basically the female in the world of Conan the Barbarian. It's sort of Conan's world, but they created a heroine, a female barbarian basically, who's good with a sword, dresses in a scale mail bikini, which is not unrealistic because people used to fight in very, very little clothing sometimes because of they would get a lot more they'd be able to be more flexible and dexterous, instead of like people fighting in full armor. There wasn't a lot of people doing that. No one could afford armor. And it was hard to actually get someone to make you armor. And if you did, you kind of were like a little bit choppy in a full scale, in a full plate armor. So let me show you some of the artwork. The best part about Red Sonja is the artwork. And I'm just gonna show you some of the artwork of Red Sonja. This is a Dynamite book. And Dynamite is the comic book company that's right now publishing Red Sonja comics. But the artwork in here transcends comics, and it goes into a lot of art done by a lot of different artists of all kinds of styles and everything. Let me just show you some of this stuff. It's really good. And there's some great art. I really like when they do it this way. You could see the pencil drawing, and then you could see the actual full painting and everything. And it's Red Sonja, I guess, fighting a monster on that one. The artwork in this one book, there's a lot of the content in this book. Here's another one I think is really cool. Also the same kind of idea, fully rendered, fully colored, and this is just a pen and ink one. And I really like both of them. I really do like both of them. I just think there's something to be liked in pen and ink and color. I mean, it just looks different, but I think it's just as cool. I mean, I really do think it's just as cool. Some of the stuff in here is really cool. This one's a great one. It's just her, more of a realistic look on there, and that is by Alex Ross. Oh yeah, he's great. Alex Ross generally draws superheroes, but I think he did a really good job with this one. And this one over here looks really cool too. I don't know if that's Alex Ross. Also, it does say who this is. Yeah, it's also Alex Ross. You can see the different styles. Really nice. Alex Ross does a lot of realistic art. And there's some really cool artwork that goes into it. You've got her fighting. You've got her basically on a throne. You got her injured. You got she's just sitting there, triumphant after some kind of a fight or a war. And all the different styles are so cool. Look at the style of this one. I just love how everyone has a different take on it. And what's cool about the kind of art in this book is that, who does this one? Red Sonja by Art Adams. Art Adams. I'm not familiar with him, but I really like how he did this. Maybe I'll check out some of his other work. I really do like the anatomy on that one. And some of this stuff is cool. Some of it is more cartoony and some of it is more realistic. That's more realistic, a little bit cartoony in the stylized, but more realistic. Like the legs, the body parts look more realistic. This one looks a lot more cartoony and just, not really anatomical too much, But some of the nice are a lot of nice action scenes of her fighting. It's so cool. I mean, every time you go to a comic convention, or if you look at some Comic-Con, a cosplay on YouTube or something like that, you see a lot of people basically playing Sonja. This is a cool one. That reminds me of an Elric one that Michael Whalen did. It reminds me a little bit, of some of the Elric stuff. This one's cool too. There's a lot of great artwork. Here's just a large full panel fight, full on her taking on a ton of enemies. And what's interesting about like that is that when this kind of thing where like one warrior taking on a ton of enemies, it reminds me of the Frazetta stuff. That one, I really like this one also. This is a great one. I think that's Michael Linsner. No, it can't be Michael Linsner, is it? No, it's Frank Cho. Let me see. It's a lot of really good ones here. This one's pretty cool. This one's pretty cool. That is actually from a comic book. I think it's, I forget which one it is, but this is actually, the two characters in that one is actually from a comic. This is Michael Linsner. His stuff is really good. I love his stuff. Every character that Michael Linsner draws looks like the Dawn character. Just reminds me of it. It's like any character that's been drawn looks like Dawn from Michael Linsner. I know it's him doing it. And you can see like just a lot of it. She's really like, he looks a lot like the Dawn character. And I don't know if Dawn was influenced by Red Sonja. She was definitely before Dawn. Dawn came out in the 90s or something like that. The first time I saw Dawn, it was a poster in a comic book store, and I was like, what is that? And they put it up like, oh, everyone knows what this is. It's like, I had no idea what it is. I've never seen it before. And the Dawn comic book wasn't even that extensive. It was like a limited run. There were a few of them. I read some of them, but it wasn't like, it was a nice poster though. It wasn't like anyone, like I didn't recognize it. And I'm sure a lot of people that like haven't read it, haven't read the comic book probably won't recognize it either. But some of the stuff here is just super cool. And I like this kind of stuff. It's like sort of like sword and sorcery, medieval fantasy. And she's just part of that. And, she's got that, like, she looks really cool. She looks really cool and sexy. Let me see who drew that one. Greg Horn. Oh, Greg Horn's great. His stuff is amazing. And what I like about this book is just the variations. Like a lot of the artwork here is just really good quality, but the variation in like every page, it's different artwork and it's done by like a different person. That is really cool. Greg Land. Some of these guys like I've heard of before. Some of them I haven't, but like I heard of them. Like I don't really like see a lot of their art, but I recognize the name. Like I've seen their name before on some art. That's pretty cool too. It's a little bit realistic. I like how the sun, she's got good sunlight effects on that one. There's a bunch of really cool stuff. Like here's one with a villain behind her, and here's another one with her just like attacking something, just running into battle, just attacking with a sword. It's a cool idea. Here's a couple of nice ones. This one's pretty cool. Her like fighting a monster, and this one it's just a very, very Dungeons and Dragons kind of art, sort of like that Jeff Easley, that D&D art, that you get in the D&D like modules and stuff like that of like warriors fighting dragons and beasts and stuff like that. Kind of reminds me of that. The style of the dragon, the style of the composition, just kind of reminds me of that. And you can see like some of it is just more cartoony, like this one, which I'm not a big fan of. Like I don't really care if it's cartoony. I like more realistic art. Art that's fancy and like shows off. It's like really realistic and stuff. I kind of like that a lot more. And more of that. And you got some like, you always have these like sexy ones with her, and it's not like too revealing. It's like, it's pretty PG, but you got some nice photos and sort of like portraits or whatever. And then you've just got her whole like warrior side. She's really badass. Like, I mean, I think like Xena is like really kind of like sort of like more goody-goody than she is. She doesn't care. She's like a barbaric kind of character. She's more of a barbarian. Xena's more like civilized, and she fights and she's good with a sword or that like round thing that she throws. But I think like Sonja is more that barbarian. It's like comparing He-Man to Conan. Conan's more of the barbarian, and like He-Man is more of like the good guy hero. You know, and Conan isn't necessarily a hero. He's just a character in a story. You know, he might do something heroic, but he's not a hero. He's not like I haven't read all the stories, but in the stories I have read, he doesn't like, you know, risk his life to save other people. He just sort of like gets attacked by monsters or wizards or something like that, and has to fight to defend himself, and he has to like, you know, or get revenge or something like that, you know, upon the villains. Some of this stuff is really cool. Look at this one. God, that's really nice. Ow. And there's like that. Some of the stuff is just so cool in this book. I'm just gonna like try to show the best of. There's a lot of great ones. You can't flip like 2 pages in this thing without seeing something amazing in it. So I'll just show the whole spread, the whole, like, both pages. That is just so cool. A lot of great stuff. The style of this one, look at that. The style of that is nice. That is just really cool. I wonder who did that one. David Mack. I haven't heard of him. I also like these kinds of books that have like the name of the artist next to the picture and a lot of different artists in it, because, you know, you could kind of, if you like the art, you can follow them on social media and then like see all of their art, you know, and it's usually really good. It's like, if you like some of this person's art, usually their other art is just as good. Sort of like an action scene there. Some of this stuff is great. Like, here's another one of these pencil and then pen drawing, pencil, pen, ink, and then full color. I always like when they do that. It's nice to see how they draw it and how they put it all together, and how the line work turns into the inking, turns into the coloring and everything like that. And that one is her in the snow. This is cool. I like that. That's really cool. That's pretty cool. And on this side, it's also, that's kind of nice. Really, really nice. And you can see like how many different artists draw her. You know, how many different artists actually draw her character. You know, like how many artists that there are that draw like her. And like there's so many good ones. And like there's this book, and there's like another book that's like 3 times the size. This is the first issue of the book, and this is the first Red Sonja art book. There's another Red Sonja art book that's like twice the size. Nice. That's kind of cool. I like this one better. Kind of like that one a lot more. Really nice. Sort of like that same kind of like, it just puts you into that world, you know, that whole medieval fantasy sword and sorcery world with adventure and magic and mysticism and just great fun to be had. It's sort of like, you know, it just brings you that imagery that you get from a book or a movie or a game or something like that. When you have this kind of genre, it just brings you into the whole world that they're in. You know, it's not just Red Sonja, it's the world that she's in, and then all of the other characters that are in that world. Some great stuff here with this one. Nice. You know, and God damn it. Every freaking page is amazing in this book. This is called The Art of Red Sonja, and it's by Dynamite, and I guess you can get this at like comic book stores or bookshops or any kind of like anywhere that has art books. And I think these are just amazing. Some of the stuff in here is just so cool. That's if you like, you know. I remember like I went to a comic book store and I saw this book and I looked through it and I was like, I have to have this book. This is so cool. You know, it's just like, and it's a hardcover too, and that you don't usually get hardcovers. Just because like it doesn't, yes, hardcovers like stay in better condition more. You are like, your hardcover comic book is probably going to be in better condition than the soft cover. It's not that the soft cover is in bad condition or becomes in bad condition. It's just the soft cover. The slightest thing you do when you like slide it into a bookshelf and you don't notice that, the page is bent, or like the cover is bent a little bit, or it's not exactly straight, and you push it in and it just bends it and destroys the whole cover of it. Takes down like all of the value of the book. More crazy action and stuff like that. I don't know. Some of it's a little bit too brutal and graphic, and you know, most of it is not really disturbing. Most of it is really nice and good looking. You know, a lot of great ones. This is interesting. Look at this one. She's being attacked by lion men, flying lion men. That reminds me of, remember the movie, I don't know if you saw it, the movie Flash Gordon. Check it out if you haven't seen it. The movie Flash Gordon from the early 80s was great. They had these flying frickin' birdmen, and it was great. Because that goes all the way back to the old Flash Gordon, the black and white TV show. And they would have frickin' birdmen and whatever in that show. Some of this shit is just so cool. That is nice. I like that. A lot of cool stuff. Let me see. More and more nice stuff. This is kind of nice. I like this one. More like, this is just kind of, it's nice. It looks nice. She's not really doing anything, and all you can see is her back anyway, but this one's really cool. Wow, that's cool. I dig this one. I kind of like this picture. That is really cool. And you got some of the other ones on this side. This is nice. Who did this one? Joe Prado. I don't know these guys. This is so cool. I've never heard of them before. You know, it's like, it's mostly like, I don't know if you know any artists that when you say their name, like nobody knows who they are. Even if they're popular in their genre and people know who they are, and you know, they have some popularity. Artists are like, you say their name, like nobody knows who they are. You know, bands, or you see like, you say a book's name or a name of a movie or something, and some people know what that is, right? And like, but artists, people just don't know who they are. You know, if it's not like a classical artist, if it's not Rembrandt or Da Vinci, nobody knows who they are, or like Van Gogh or something like that. People know those guys, Picasso, you know, but then you say something like an artist doing art now who's really, really good at what they're doing, nobody knows who they are. Like, unless they're really into it and they follow that kind of thing. Because it's sort of like, what the hell? That is freaking cool. Look at that axe, my God. Nice. I like how they put that on like 2 pages and whatever. Some of this stuff is so cool. That's nice. That's also kind of cool. I like this one a lot better than the other one on there. God. Here's a page with a bunch of them. A bunch of different ones. No, just close up that. So nice. Some of these are really cool. More of these. Some of these are just so cool. Here's like a page with a lot of like the bigger ones. Her fighting a snake. Nice. And then some other ones. Ooh, Thulsa Doom in that one. Look at that helmet. The helmet of Thulsa Doom. There was actually a comic with that I have a couple of the issues of it. I read some of it. I don't know if I read the whole thing. It was a limited, it was only like 4 or 5 comics. And it was Red Sonja versus Thulsa Doom, where she actually fights the villain that was in Conan the Barbarian, the movie, with Schwarzenegger. That's pretty cool. Her fighting witches and some kind of like demon spirits and whatever. Nice. She's lit up by the fire. That looks really cool. The whole scene is lit up by the fire. Oh man. Yeah. It's kind of cool. I like this one. That one's nice. And then I like that one too. Her riding a horse with some kind of like Aztec thing, like carving in the background. Her fighting just a bunch of freaking men with armor and freaking armor men, soldiers or warriors or whatever they are. Just, oh, here's one. I like that one. That's a cool one. Her with like being attacked by a monster with a dagger. She's got her dagger there. It's nice. That is just so cool. That's so fucking cool. Some of this stuff is really good too. Jeez, look at this stuff. Nice. More like nice artwork. More like artwork here. Let me see if there's something really nice. Oh, I like this one. That's cool. I like that one a lot. That one's cool too. That one's really nice. She looks good in her bikini, in her armor bikini. It really is armor. It's a metal bikini with scale mail and stuff like that. Really cool. Nice. That's really cool. Here's an interesting one. Nat Jones did that one. Nice. There's a lot of really cool things. I like this one. This is really nice. Wow. There's that. Some more art. God, some of this stuff is so cool. She's with the dragon here. She's got like attacking some kind of minotaur on that one. Okay, there's that. Like she's jumping. She's attacking here. And this one. That's so cool. Like that. That's nice. There's so much good art in here. There's so much great. I mean, like every single page is done so well. It's not like like every page is like perfect artwork, but it's just, it looks really good and it works for what it is. You know, it really does work for what it is or what it's supposed to be. Some of this stuff is just really nice and amazing. There's that. So cool. That one is nice. These are basically, a lot of these are comic book covers for comic books, for Red Sonja comic books. A lot of this is the covers of it, or pages inside that's full pictures and whatever inside the comic books. It's kind of cool. These are really cool. That one's nice. Show you the close up of that one. That one's really cool too. Huh. And then there's like these 2 pages, which is nice. It's like her she's some kind of like queen or some kind of empress. And this one's another one that's really nice. And more action scenes going on that I think are really cool. I think those are really nice. And wow. And there's that. Freaking cool. And there's like this one. It's really nice. I kind of dig these. Yeah. So this is just some of the art of Red Sonja. Some of the art. There's still another book that is like 3 times that size with more art of Red Sonja, you know, so I think this is cool. I really love this kind of artwork. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments. Like and subscribe. Thanks for subscribing to those who subscribed. And if you want to check out some of my other videos, check them out on my channel. And I will see you guys in another video. Take care and have a great day or night. Later.